Hello students, in the last class we have discussed about factors influencing on consumer buying behavior, right? So here in that concept we have discussed about five factors: internal or psychological factors, socio-cultural factors, economic factors, personal factors and other factors. Today we are going to discuss about buying decision process. So here, if we have the knowledge about the consumer buying process, then we can understand the consumer behavior. So here, every marketer should know, or they should have the knowledge of consumer buying decision process. Then what is buying decision process? So buying decision process is the process of deciding by a buyer or consumer whether to buy or not to buy the product. So it is the process of deciding by the buyer. So this is a process which decides by the buyer or consumer whether to buy or not to buy a product. So in simple we can say that buyer decision process or buying decision process is a problem solving approach or a decision making process leading to a buying decision on the part of a buyer or consumer. So buying decision process is the decision making process on the part of the buyer that leads to buying. So in simple, or it is the process of deciding by a buyer or consumer whether to buy or not to buy a product. So various persons involved in the buying decision process. The buying decision process may involve one or more persons, right? So who are the various persons? First one, initiator. Initiator is a person who initiates or thinks of the idea of buying a particular product. Take for example, if a person thinks or he initiates of the idea of buying the particular product, then he is called initiator. And influencer. Who is influencer? Influencer is a person who influences the buying decision of the buyer. So if he influences to the buyer to buy the product, then he is called influencer. Decider. Who is a decider? Decider is a person who ultimately makes a decision as to buy or what to buy or where to buy and when to buy it. So decider is a person who decides to buy the product. And buyer is a person who actually buys a product, right? And user is a person who uses the product. And there are three types of or different types of buying behavior. First one, simple buying process and limited buying process or limited problem solving process and extensive problem solving process. Let us discuss one by one. Simple buying process. This type of behavior occurs when consumers are engaged in buying low cost goods of everyday use like milk, soaps, toothpaste, groceries, etc. So which are frequently purchased by the consumers, right? So here the customers or consumers, they should have the adequate knowledge about the products, and they have clear preference for the same some brands. So consumers, they do not spend much time and effort in the purchase of these goods, right? So here in simple buying process, the consumers, they buy goods everyday use like milk or soap or groceries or toothpaste, right? So here in this type of process, the consumers, they do not spend more time or much time and effort in the purchase of these goods. And second one, limited problem solving process. So here the buying becomes more complex when buyers are faced with new or unfamiliar brands. So in this case, the buyers or consumers, they spend more time and efforts in ascertaining the nature, because these goods are unfamiliar to the consumers, right? Take for example, here the nature, quality, prices, durability of the goods are concerned, right? So here in this type of process, the consumers, they face with new brands or new unfamiliar products. That's why they spend more time on uh, to think about the product, or on efforts in ascertaining the goods. And third one, extensive problem or problem solving process. Here, the while buying costly and luxury goods like cars and other brands which are less familiar, the buyers face complex buying process. Here, the consumers, they spend considerable time and effort in making their buying decision. So yeah, the consumers, they do not know much about the merits of these goods and brands, right? So there is extensive problem solving process in the case of these goods. So this type of process is applied while buying the costly and luxury goods. So here the consumers, they spend more time and effort in making their buying decision. Next we will discuss about important topic, that is 5 stages of buying decision process. The consumer buying process or buying consumer buying process is a 5-step activity. So it comprises following 5 steps. First one, need recognition. Second one, information search. And third one, evaluation of alternatives. And fourth one, purchase decision. And fifth one, post purchase behavior. First one, so let us discuss one by one. First one, need recognition. So buying process which starts with need recognition. So buying process which begins when a person begins to feel that a certain need or want has to be satisfied. So this is a starting point of a consumer buying process, is a perceived or want or the recognition of an unsatisfied need or want. So here need recognition means the awareness of the want or a need or a consumption problem without the satisfaction of which the consumer feels restless and tension charged. So here the consumer, he feels that a need or want has arisen and that has to be satisfied. So here need or, no, or want may arise due to advertisement, due to window display or friend suggestions or dealers, right? So here generally it is the intensity or urgency of a want that decides which want should be satisfied first, right? And generally here the more pressing wants are satisfied first and less pressing wants are postponed. So as a buyer, he cannot have unlimited purchasing power, right? So this is a first step, that is need recognition, recognizing the need of the customer. And second one, information search. After recognizing the need, he is going to search for relevant information. So a consumer, he has many sources of information to tap. He cannot get or he can get relevant information from family members, relatives or friends, neighbors, opinion of leaders and other members, right? So here marketers also, they can provide relevant information through advertisement, salesmen, dealers, window display, sales promotion, and like mass media like television, radio, television, newspapers also provide relevant information, right? So here consumer organization also offer necessary information and guidance. So when it is not clear what type of brand of the product can offer the best satisfaction and where and how it can be secured, the person will have to search for the relevant information about the product. So this is about second stage, information search. In the third stage, he evaluate the alternatives. So the relevant information collected on alternative products or brands are used for the evaluation of alternatives. So in the evaluation stage, the consumer assigns relative value or weightage to different products based on the accumulated information. So after he evaluates the alternatives, the consumer develops to intention or accept or reject the product. So it is a consumer's deep interest in the product that paves the way of evaluation of alternatives. So evaluation of alternative is a critical stage in process of buying, particularly in costly durable goods. So it it is a critical stage in the process of buying. And next to fourth stage, that is purchase decision. So while evaluating the alternatives or alternative products or brands, the consumer develops likes and dislikes about the alternatives, right? So here it may be noted that decision to purchase implies consumer commitment for a product. Practically the purchase decision is the last stage in the buying decision process because it completes the exchange of goods, right? So here the positive intention of the consumer, that is the likes of the consumer or likes of the consumer about a particular product or brand, is a main factor that leads to purchase decision. Other factors like attitudes or reference group members or final selection, so these are the factors which influence on the decision of consumer. Next, last stage, that is post purchase behavior. The post-purchase experience may be set a positive feeling or a negative feeling. So positive feeling or of satisfaction or satisfaction with the purchased product will create brand preference, right, or influencing the future purchase of the buyer. On the other hand, if they have the negative feelings about or dissatisfaction about the product, then the purchased product will create a doubt or anxiety, right. So that's why the post purchase reaction or post purchase behavior means the reaction or the behavior of the consumer after a commitment to a product has been made. So this is about the buying decision process. There are 5 stages: need recognition, information search, evaluation of alternative, purchase decision, and post purchase behavior. The second chapter ends by this. So as we know, we have discussed so many things in this unit, right? So here the market segmentation and consumer behavior, right? In the market segmentation, basis for market segmentation, marketing or market targeting strategies, and in the consumer behavior, meaning and definition of consumer behavior analysis, buying motive, classification of buying motive, and in that learned, rationally learned, and inherent emotional patronage, factors influencing the consumer behavior and buying decision process. In the next unit, we are going to study about product strategy. So in these 2 units, if you have any doubts, you can clarify it. Thank you.